A 16-9 scoreline as NRG grabs Mirage from Troic Commando. That's right, SK Gaming. Might sound a little surprising to you, but absolutely could not be the case here if we go into cash and a different SK shows up. It could be a scary time here for NRG as we do get into that. The second and final map between these two for the evening, and, well, overall the final map for the broadcast this evening. So when we look at this, we're going into cash. What should we expect?
I will expect SK to come out banging pretty hard. You know, they're a team that, you know, they might lose first map or come down early in the match, but they always come back. They always seem to be a resilient team, and expect taco at those doors.
Brazilians?
Brazilians.
So what was the thing we were talking about the first map? It was that what I want to see is how NRG plays against a top-tier team, right? Because that could be a proving ground, right? They're doing well this season. They did well last season. They've kind of like had this under-the-radar kind of thing. And I think this series, right, if they take this map and go 2-0 here, then that should solidify them as, you know, a top team in Pro League.
Well, it certainly helps for NRG when you have players like Breeze and Cirque firing off on all cylinders. But even given that into the equation, you guys are saying that right now SK are, you know, they're poised to have that sort of explosive cash, maybe. What's your take on SK on cash overall, though, James?
I think their weakness, if anything, on any map is usually their CT side, unless we're going to go back to train during the FNX days, right? Like, that was kind of like their one thing is the CT side train was so good back then. But in terms of anything, it's always the CT side on SK that could be any of the weakness, if there is even a weakness, right? People know how Phelps and coldzera like to play B. Sure, they do a really good job at doing what they do, but the fact that people understand how they play gives them a leg up on SK, right? Because SK probably aren't like feverishly searching how NRG play, right? It's kind of like that being at the top of the mountain thing makes it harder to stay there for them.
Well, the mountain is and could be pretty tall here for NRG, provided what SK shows up on cash. But I'm going to have to ask you guys for some predictions as we throw out these Betway odds from you, the viewer at home. I'm going to ask you guys now, what are you thinking here on cash?
If I say if SK won on Mirage, I think SK would lose this one. Because we have a little theory that they might sandbag this online, the cash maps. Because if you look in the finals of major tournaments and stuff like that, they're just they dominate the all the top teams.
Yeah, you see games where they get 13 rounds against G2 on their CT side, and then they don't let FaZe get double-digit rounds at ESL Cologne, and you're like, oh, how are you losing 16-3 against CLG online match? When you're beating these other arguably top 5 teams in the world easily on cash. So. Not really sure what's going on here. Let's see. I mean, it'll be pretty obvious within the first 5 rounds what brand of CS SK is playing. And if it's a good brand, I expect them to win.
Well, yet to be 2-0'd is SK Gaming this season. But tonight, that could change, and we're going to find out on cash here in just a second. But to bring us that action is going to be Blue and Launders. You guys ready to take this one away?
Let's do it.
All right, take it.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to waste no time. We're going to dive directly into this second map and our final map of the evening. And we'll get to see if NRG can indeed make it a 2-0 here. Here we go with the pistol round. NRG starting off on T side this time, and SK over to the CT side.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. Everyone setting up. Fallen just peeking Z as a couple of players go up over the boost. They're going to sit and wait patiently, I think. Make sure that nobody counter boosts or pushes. And the difficulty for the player in Z is that he's got to peek both mid main and boost at the same time when he wants to peek boost, which makes his job a little bit more risky. Smoke comes out, I think, for top highway, and a flash over mid as they bust out over the roof.
They bust over here. Fallen also sits behind Z, waiting for this now as he's going to be pushed back there by Ange, who's taking him down. And it's first blood here on this map now. And that will open up the way for them to go for a quick vent split into B, which is actually going to be the real intention here instead of the usual A hit that we often see on these pistols. So NRG keep it mixed up a little bit as they push themselves in. Phelps waits for him over here in the back area, but he just gets run over by Ange. Already a second kill for him now. coldzera looking to impact, and as he finds a quick headshot now, trying to hunt for more, but won't happen. Breeze eliminates him very quickly from the match. Now just 2 remain. Taco was also going down very quickly, and Fur is now going to be pushing back in, tries to get up towards it, but can't make it happen. Fugly shuts him down, and it's NRG that start off with a victory again on the pistol.
That was a solid B hit, man, and I think what was really cool about that is it kind of all hinged on killing Fallen and Z, but what was the best part was that if Fallen dies in Z, then and they smoke top highway, then it's impossible for SK to know whether or not they are up highway, and that means that B split is a lot. Both A and B are equally vulnerable, meaning if they wanted to, they could have hit it if they felt like it, because SK can't justify a rotate, but B becomes the site that you'd think you'd pull away from because you see that smoke at top highway. So it's a perfect way to fake, and it's off of the back of a 5v4 that they also did a great job of exploiting.
Well, Ange will keep his kill streak rolling here now as he moves in to find Phelps early on in the second round. You'll note SK obviously don't invest too heavily into it. They do see quite a few players going for the pickups here, but Fallen is going to buy down a little bit later. The others, though, does seem like they buy down with Deagles and Armor. NRG just decide to take their time with things here on the second round. And they're just going to creep up to the B site, flash themselves in, and, well, in they go. Let's see if they can make these entries happen. coldzera will try to respond to some of the action, but both of these CTs push so far back, there really isn't going to be room for them to do much. In fact, coldzera, and I imagine some of the others are already going to be falling back to save here, as they know they can't do anything in terms of a retake against a B site hit.
Yep, so they're just going to recycle these pistols, wait for the next round, see if they can get anything going. And it looks like NRG aren't going to be too aggressive in their save and not look for any other kills. Instead, are just going to go back in the sunroom, hold on to mid-main, chill for a moment. And it's going to be just a stalemate here. Pretty easy stuff. Clean round for NRG. 5 alive. Any Mac 10 kills? Nope. It was only one person actually dying in this entire round, which is kind of funny.
Well, NRG will end up on the back foot there, as most of their players are able to save in back halls. No one else going down, and SK unfortunately not able to get any kills, but they do keep quite a few of those guns alive, so they're still going to have a little bit of firepower going into this third round, so it might not end up being a straight-up walkover for NRG.
Honestly, you don't even need to have everybody buy full nade sets when you know that they're recycling their guns, which also means they could be recycling full armor, so they've got to treat it like a second round again. I take it back.
Very quick. That was a very quick take.
I take it back.
Yeah.
I know when I'm wrong, but only I know.
Only you know.
That's the thing.
Gotcha. There you go.
So contingency. Very happy to admit I'm wrong.
All right, well, NRG now move in. They're going to take quick mid control. Fallen trying to respond to it, but with just a USB, excuse me, in hand. It's going to be a little bit hard to do that. You go ahead.
Yeah,
take a
no
moment.
worries. Yeah. Fugly's going to be pushing out mid. The flash to help himself. This is America. We have self-serve. Okay.
Well, not in all states.
It's the best way.
Fugly continuing to spam and looking for the frag on a Fallen. No success there yet.
What states don't have self-serve?
Oregon and New Jersey.
How do you know that?
Because I used to live in New Jersey.
About Oregon?
What? Oh, that's just because I have friends in Oregon. That's what.
Okay, so how do you know about other states?
What?
How do you know, how do you cancel out the other states?
Because I've looked this up.
Yeah, that's the thing. You looked it up.
Yeah,
that's the weird part.
If you're the odd state out, you get curious about these things.
Because for a while it was like 100% of the states you've been to didn't have self-serve.
Yeah, I suppose. Look,
it's a really funny thing.
You got to create jobs, you know.
You're like probably the one person in the world to know that.
No, quite a few people know that. Most people from New Jersey and Oregon know that.
Know that, okay.
Because it's like a weird thing about the state.
That's still in totality, like not that many people.
Yeah.
I think it was very lucky to have you here on the.
New Jersey's very dense,
today.
actually. New Jersey's the densest state.
As in they're stubborn, or?
No. Population density.
Well, if Japan was a state, it'd be the most dense.
That's true. But if we're talking U.S. states, then Jersey takes the cake. Let's see, NRG. Now, as we get onto a gun round here, they are going to look very quickly towards A main to get ready to go out for the execute. Fur first at the bat to defend, but he gets wrecked by a flashbang. No room for a response there. Taco will have to be the one to do it, and he doesn't get one. And adds a second to the counter here, too. Fallen can also rotate back to the edge of Squeaky since he knows there's nothing pushing out from Squeaky itself. Get ready to defend again, but it's Ange showing up to save the day once more, just like on the pistol. Moves in here, finally takes down Taco, ends his wrath. Fugly will be brought down very low, but Zerk just peeks out, destroys Fallen. Now up on top, he's not been able to scout out Phelps just yet. He still remains safe just behind that smoke there. But he's not going to remain that way forever. He's going to need to move out here relatively quickly. Otherwise, yep, Zerk's going to be there to peek him, taking him down, and he gets the last kill too. So Zerk carrying over that momentum from Mirage, gets a nice little 3K here on the first gun round, keeping NRG in the lead.
I really like to look at the money from before, actually. It's kind of weird because on that round in the tier circ, just like a couple of kills, one after another, no problem. Makes it look so simple. And also taking out Fallen, which is a big deal. But SK had no nades at all that round. They had one person with a nade set, and everyone else's had M4 head armor, which is kind of weird to prioritize buying head armor over smoke grenades versus terrorists. But to each his own, I guess. And I don't know if they've seen Phelps cross, but they should still be throwing the appropriate nades. You would assume, unless they think that they can skip it because that last guy that they saw was the checkers cross. Looks like they will. Uh-oh.
Phelps. Wow.
Ooh.
Hits the bomb carrier right off the bat, too. They should... Oh, they tried a wall bang. It was very close. They're going to... Oh! It's Breeze now, too. He's still alive. Fugly looking for the pre-fire. Not going to happen. He does just take him down normally, but Cirque's additional kill against him, and Fallen going down here, too, does restore advantage for NRG. It's a bit of a delicate one, however, as Taco is moving into the flank. So if he can surprise from that position, then things will find themselves getting a little bit hairy here. Taco's going to continue to lurk forward, looking for that opportunity against Cirque here.
Oh.
And finds him.
Oh.
Oh, Cirque's going to take him down. So
the Kraken moment right there.
Yep.
5-0 for NRG. Then they get away by the skin of their teeth as Phelps makes a very critical play. And after he let the first person go, that person pretty much feels like they weren't spotted. So, you know, Breeze comes back in a checker thinking, all right, this is an easy trade. I'll just go grab this. And meanwhile, Phelps is sitting there like, okay, maybe he doesn't realize that I let him pass by, and he's not going to expect me to have him lined up as he comes back into checker.
These rounds in general have been actually pretty close for the most part here. So
yeah.
As soon as SK get on the board, I think NRG, you know, they're not really going to have a lot to sustain themselves in rebuy here. So NRG are still actually in a really delicate position. They need to be careful to make sure that they keep winning these rounds and look for cleaner ones too. That's going to be a good entry, but you still have Fallen to deal with. He's going to wrap around, almost gets a third kill that quickly. Now he's going to be able to get it on the repeat here. Now are they not looking to quad at this point, as they're just letting Fallen get away with it, and in he goes. It's an easy ace for Fallen, shutting everything down and finally putting SK on the board. They just give it to him, too, it seems.
Yeah, really good shots by Fallen. That opening kill is great. And, you know, him surviving here after getting flashed and pushed off and Molotov and bullied by everybody in A main as well as Fugly, moving to quad. And then here it's just like nobody's even looking at him. Not sure how he got away with that. But he'll definitely take that, no problem.
And now he's going to continue that. There's number 6 right there as he moves in and finds Breeze this time as we start off with a new round, already knocking out one of the member of NRGs. They do get this one full rebuy. But like I said, with how close the rounds were after this, they should find themselves broken relatively quickly. SK are going to immediately upgrade to a double op setup, by the way, there. As you can see, Cold Zera investing into that second op now. So they waste no time trying to establish their dominance here after they pick up their first round.
It's got a pee on him.
I'm sorry, what?
The golden shower.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just
threw me off there a little.
Yeah.
You gotta lead into that one a little better.
Turn this into Nat Geo quick.
So, let's see here as NRG do line up for the A execute. No entry attempts just yet. And now Fallen sits back. Patiently waits. Let's see if he can make this a double ace. That would be fun. All right, now, again, just kind of sitting back and waiting for NRG to make their first move, essentially.
It's pretty much just been execute servers on A. Very little smokes, however.
Fallen Oak going to be able to move back in, and that's a great shot. It's a headshot, too, against Daps that close up. Both the uppers missed that time on the repeat. Cirque misses again, and it's a double. Of course it had to be for Fallen there. 9 kills in just 2 rounds.
Hey, what is going on? That's such weird rounds from NRG. They're like consistently hitting A, but they're doing it with like fewer and fewer pieces of utility every single time. Fallen's having an easier time finding these op shots. Wait to sort of flash there, which is really good. Well, they both whiff. Which is a rarer sight. And then as Cirque actually tries to get away and pushes into him, he's like, commit! And then they both go and get double opt.
Well, it might be Cold Zera's turn to have a bit of fun with the op this time, as NRG are going to go for a pretty long push down B halls. Mollies will hold it back temporarily. Actually, it might get canceled. Let's see here. They're kind of wavering a bit there. Looks like the bomb was going to go back useless for a second. But no, they'll commit. The thing is, SK know this is happening, though. They've already got 3 players in the site. This is not going to be a big surprise at all for NRG. So they will walk in and probably be surprised at the fact they're getting shut down so quickly. Although, there's one trade from ANJ. Right about this. Coldzera and Fallen, though, do move in for those 2 additional kills. Just 2 remain, 1 in the corner, and what do you know, it's Fallen again. He goes for the simple at the end there. Not the direct translation of it, but it's going to drop down and kill Breeze, and that was 3 more for Fallen, I believe?
Yeah, another 3K. It's been pure op frags for him. He's shooting a lot. He's also hitting a lot of flicks. And even though this is an eco, it doesn't matter. I mean, the only thing that changes really is how they execute, how many nades they use, but they're all still one-shotters.
So he's slowly going down in the number of kills he's going to get. A 5K, then a 4K, and this round a 3K, which means this round he's going to get a double kill.
Right.
Go by that logic.
But will it be a collat? Because it's always got to be something cool, right?
That's true. Well, they're bunching up there at the edge of B halls, so.
Coming to him.
Great flash.
Oh, he's in the snacks. Aggressive.
He's feeling it now.
Oh, he's actually using that to push through.
Oh, this shot, however, and he gets tag slayed, so it
He's
doesn't
gonna
slow
get
him
this
down.
now.
Phelps tries to hold it, but it is just on Fallen. If they know it's Fallen, though, they might actually be a little bit timid to go into that site, considering how good he's been with the op in these last few rounds. So they call it off for now, shift their players back to useless. They'll keep 1 in Sunroom to delay, but everybody else is going to wrap into mid. And that shifts the focus now to Coldzera, who will just smoke it off.
As soon as it's time for them to go back somewhere else, they've just basically left 1 person at B. They're back to kind of a really passive default after congregating, finding an opening kill. And here, I think they know that the smoke either came from, they're going to assume came from vent. Coldzera going to be then here to fall back into vent as a support for B. And now this will allow them to feel comfortable clearing hard left, but will Coldzera peek? They're going to hold on to this.
Well, this could come down to a timing here, too. Nope, he's going to go out, but just a little dip in there as he realizes the number of players that are outside and decides it's really not worth it to go in. Breeze will go up 2. Oh, okay. Taco saves the day on himself, really. But unfortunately, misses Daps working out from Squeaky, so it's a 1 and done for him. And moves in to kill Fallen. Fugly executes Fur. Everything falls apart here for SK. And it looks like NRG will be able to go back into having control of things. Unless Cold can clutch this one. He's going to go for 1v4 here. Moving in. Oh, nicely does. He takes down Cirque, but he can't find Fugly. So Fugly will be able to swing wide and take him down. And that will be NRG holding on to the lead now 3-6.
They could have dealt with that a lot earlier if they just put Ange, who had a full nade set up until the very last moment of that round. We probably should have dumped some of those nades in the afterplant. Just put him up on boost to molly out vent. Since they had Breeze and Sunroom and Cold didn't have any utility left over to escape, he could have just waited, mollied him out, killed him on the way out into B, and then taken A with that kill, or just split B and put a lot of pressure on Fallen, who had the op. But they made it work anyway. And that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh.
You have to do what's consistently good. You can't just do what works, Blue.
Sorry. Just on that pug mentality, you know?
Yeah.
As long as we win, that's all that matters for me. Well, Fugly just goes right in for the entry this time, and he finds Coldzera hiding in the corner. So goodbye to him. Phelps will have to try and hide back out up on top of the platform this time. NRG get ready to move back in. Fur does find a lurker outside of A, so he's going to be able to take him down. Call the all clear. Phelps kind of gets wrecked by a flashbang, however, so he has to try and reposition, but at 37, it's not going to be easy. Makes it work, and now his teammate coming in saves his life for a 2nd time. Taco will be able to do that, but it's a short-lived life for Taco as he only gets that 1 kill. Now Fallen has to try and help out here, but Phelps getting another kill. All of a sudden, the round really just turns on its head, and Fugly's left alone with no bomb, trying to clutch again.
45 seconds remain. No easy kills are going to come his way. He's really hoping someone is going to shoot an op at him. Or shoot an op bullet at him.
Now that would be interesting.
Op a shoot. There it is. Not.
Suddenly we're community servers now.
Yeah.
Fugly. Yeah. Oh, they are.
Oh.
No, they see him now.
Oh.
But that wasn't a great peek by Fur, so Fugly's going to catch that. The thing is, Fugly does not have enough time to go into that site in 1v2.
What's he doing? So what's he going all crazy for?
Yeah, I thought he was just going to go save in, like, Squeaky or something.
Wait, what?
Is he going to attempt this?
What are you doing?
You're not winning this. Yeah.
Why?
The worst part is he even throws that, like, that flash is way through heaven, so it's like just a warning signal that he's coming out heaven. So
He had everything he needed except... What the...
That was weird.
He's just dumping utility as the round was running as he was running out of time. Like, was he so afraid that he was dying? Because I don't know. That what? That's really weird. Whatever, we can move past it, I guess. They just don't have anything this round. Whatever.
Yeah, so now they're going to be pretty much on a full save here. A CZ and a PT50, and then a couple flashbangs. That's it. So very small investment from NRG, about $1,000 total. As Fallen gets his first kill, might be another multi-frag round for Fallen. Actually, it's Phelps doing a lot of the work here now. Runs out of ammo, he's over to the pistol fort. Fallen comes in on the assist there, as Ange even knew he was dead. But SK will close it out 5-6 now.
Oh, Phelps with that crazy spray. Crazy spray. And SK starting to pick back up. I'm kind of curious, will NRG be able to take A again like they have been? It's going to be a double save off of that round, so now another opportunity for SK to not only win but just build up a little bit more economy. As NRG thunderfoot their way into A main. Look to intend to split Squeaky. What?
Oh.
Why did he?
Well, I guess the flash worked. Somehow, I don't even know what's happening right now.
Why did he think that would work? I don't understand. That is so weird.
Well, they win the round, I suppose. Just a little bit of a flub there.
Are we watching the right game?
I don't
know what is going on. Everyone's got like brain pairs. This really is a simulation. Is a glitch in the simulation?
Maybe, dude.
Anders.
Someone call him in.
That was strange.
We need an expert opinion on this.
Because he had this molly lined up on the wall, right?
Yeah.
You were looking at it lined up on the wall. You're like, that's going to bounce off the wall. So it's probably going to take a step to the right. Just doesn't. Like, what?
It was bait.
So strange.
Just trying to cover up that flashbang noise. Ooh, Fur gets a nice double right at the start here. Did he... Because that wasn't useless, so did he push through mid to get that? I think he did. I'm amazed nobody was watching mid. Yeah, so it was right at mid that those kills happened. So Breeze is going to be able to strike back with 2 more kills on his own, though, and that all of a sudden evens back up the fight. Phelps and the others looking for a way back into the site. NRG with the 3-man stack. But, well,
what?
Breeze is just going to wreck Fur. Daps as well, taking out Phelps. And now Fallen left alone in the 1v2, but Cirque also strikes. All 3 players hit their mark, and NRG do close out, getting revenge for that last round.
We're going to watch, yeah, Fur on that push to get his 2 kills. I guess, does he wait for a team flash here, or does he just go in straight incognito?
Oh, they had no idea either.
No protection. Slides right in there.
So on to round 14. Both teams fully bought once more, and it's a close contest again, just like we had back on Mirage here. NRG still leading the charge at this point, but that could fall away if they're not careful.
These are some of the ugliest A takes I've seen win rounds, which is what is so like alarming for me. I wonder if SK be better off just playing the site like retake pretty much. We know that they can do it, but I guess just like James mentioned, like if there's gonna have any weaknesses, it's gonna be on CT side. I suppose.
Cole's gonna try something interesting this time, as he did self-boost himself over there, I believe.
That's actually really cool, because that's like people will molly that out and then not clear it. But if you're up there, you also have a high-low angle. You could back up a little bit and see someone like coming over boost as well.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That might become more standard, honestly. And from there, you can actually boost yourself over if you really want to.
Oh no, he is still there, I think. But I think he dropped down now, so he's not going to have that same position to immediately kill players at boost, but can still hide out there. In the meanwhile, NRG is going for the execute out onto the A site. It's a straightforward execute this time, too. Coldzera was able to get 1 kill from his position there, but was traded out a second later by Cirque anyway, so only got a 1-for-1 trade. And most of SK now fell because of the entries that are working their way in. Taco can still save the day, however, back in quad. It's the first kill. Noses a few more out on the site. A flashbang did come in to assist with him, and he gets that, but didn't count right, as And was left alive. However, Fallen quickly dies back in, wins the 1v1, and takes the round for SK.
So weird. Like, we didn't really see much of how that execute unfolded, but it was that's pretty loose. Like they're going in pretty loose. They're just like throwing 1 or 2 smokes and then coming out trying to isolate players, I guess, at forklift or just on the site and seeing where these guys are. And I have no idea how they're actually getting out so consistently. It just seems like mid-round, it's just like 2 or 3 kills without trades go their way, and then they get the bomb down.
Fall going to continue his aggression here, leading his way for the team. by a pretty big margin there. I think almost 10 kills over the next highest member of his team.
Phelps looking through the cleavage.
Phelps is going to be... He's going to be able to get 1 kill, but he and Cold both go down a second later with 1-2. So that leaves us even in a 3v3. You'll note that NRG accomplished this while still being on suboptimal guns here. He would get the whole site under their control, but SK, I think, are aware of the fact that they're not on the greatest buy, so they're obviously going to go for the retake, mainly because it's round 15. And nade, pretty good. Knocks almost max damage off on Fugly either, since he has armor. And now they have to look for a way back into the site. Flashes out, and now SK making their way in from CT. They get a first kill, so Cirque having to spam for the backside here. He has no vision. Anj is on this flank, but he needs to push in soon. Runs over Fur, but now they've lost platform control, but look, both peek out, and they get the job done anyway. Nicely done by NRG as they do surprise they're taking that last round. And with that, they're going to be able to lead the way coming out of the first half. Stick with us to see if SK can recover on their T side, or if it's going to be NRG to pull off a 2-0 against them.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And so for the last time this evening, we are back again, ladies and gentlemen, here from the ESL Pro League, where NRG once again leads over SK coming off of the first half, now on cash, but it's just as close as it can get, 8-7, as we ended the first half there.
It was a really ugly first half.
It was a really weird first half.
Really strange, yeah. It seemed like I really have trouble piecing together how all those A takes unfolded the way they did. I think like over towards B and mid, and like the pistol round that NRG used were all really cool. The A stuff, I just don't know how it worked out, and it seemed like it seems like on the shooting front, SK are not on point right now. Definitely surprised to see them to fail, I guess, so hard in that regard.
Well, here we go into the second half now as NRG is going to jump onto the CT side. SK, if they're going to recover, they have to do it on T side now, so let's see if they can piece it back together. The odds actually still favor SK, which is a little bit surprising at this point.
Yeah,
I suppose their reputation stands.
Yeah, I mean,
these circumstances.
We do have to, like, you know, on T side, I expect them to do a lot better, to be honest. So I can kind of understand. It seems like it's pretty steep, though, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow start for SK, as they basically just playing to a default on the pistol round here. Not going to be trying anything. NRG, you'll note that they do expect this to roll towards B, but this is just a standard setup for the most part here for CTs to do too, since they expect, you know, if it comes to B, they obviously have a great setup to defend it there, and if it rolls into A, they're just set up for a retake, so.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have set it better myself. This is just defending the harder site to take. Breeze is here to share information on any cross smoke or kill any lurkers or anybody who gets aggressive and squeaky. And NRG, on the other hand, are waiting because pushes are so common on CT side on pistols. What's Phelps going to do?
Right now they're just boosting 3 players up on top of boost itself here. Now they're going to go over the top. They'll smoke out Daps. You can still spam the boost spot a little bit here to see if you can maybe pick a player off, but actually Breeze is going to wrap back down. Ooh, and he catches one player. top of another there. He's only going to be able to take one of them out, though, so Phelps will trade that a moment later, but that should give tell in terms of where the site take is going to be, and now we should see rotates from NRG. We're going to see a flank push from Fugly, too. That won't come into effect for another 20 or 30 seconds or so, but it is there. You'll also note, however, that SK have left a man in Z. It's called Zera, and he could do massive impact, because I don't think NRG expect this at this point. Let's see, he's going to be pushing out from Z now. Not fully just yet. Oh, he's walking right up behind him. He just called to his teammates that the retake starting now, too, so this is really good intel. Taco's going to be able to take one down. coldzera moves in, gets the first kill, and it looks like SK, the brilliant strategy, just aced their way pretty much through the pistol round here, only losing Fur on it. Beautifully done.
Yeah, they kept it pretty simple. I like their use of the Molotov because they threw the Molotov at quad because if there's a USP there, then the guys at highway are in a lot of danger. Anyone from highway can shoot, or anyone at quad, excuse me, can shoot all the way to sandbags pretty accurately. So that's an interesting way to split A with just one smoke and one Molotov. I don't even know if they used a flash. They might have had it on another player, but yeah, coming out mid. That's another strat I'm going to steal. Both their T-pistols are actually really, really cool.
So now we have the CTs getting a little bit more aggressive here as they are on their force. Not everyone forces, though. Only Fugly and Breeze by now. I'm not sure how low Ange and Daps ended up going. Daps may have probably emptied out his bank account, but for ANJ and Cirque, they should still have money left over. We can see SK just slowly kind of creeping around the map here, looking for entry opportunities.
They see, okay, so once coldzera pushes through the smoke, then he's going to see that, oh, they're trying to get us to go to A. So he's going to call, okay, either we get some info at A, but we should probably go B because they're probably overstacking the other site because the smoke was just a feint.
Fur also had a position in Z up until a couple of seconds ago there too, where he eventually backed out, but serves them for the better. His Fur was in a little bit of trouble there, and Phelps is going to be able to get the kill anyway, so taking out Fugly first off here.
And the reason why Taco stays as long as he does is because the rest of his teammates need to walk towards B to not give anything else away before they make their move. Nice kill from Ange.
Should have been a mid-air one too. Unfortunately, he was brought so low by Phelps that they're going to be able to complete the kill anyway, but then Daps finds another one here now. That'll restore the 3v3, keeping it even. SK obviously still have a huge gun advantage, but as they move in, well, Daps will look for one more kill. He will tag Fallen down relatively low, but Fallen does get the frag itself, and now with the smoke, it's going to push Cirque back. I think Breeze is the only one left on platform. Cirque needs support. He's going to go right out, and it's Fallen here. It was so close to killing Fallen, but Cirque also dies relatively quickly, so that is SK.
That little boy's crazy. SK barely win that round. It looked like the trades are actually going the way of NRG, even though Cold made a really cool informational play, and they pretty simply chose B just based off of that information, not anything out of spawn. Now we're gonna have a round where they kind of know that NRG don't have anything else to work with. Would make sense for them to buy. coldzera, anticipating a B push, throws that molly down. That's something new.
Cold doesn't seem to care too much about the molly. Those lurks right up. He won't run out of ammo here, so Ange is going to kill him, but the trades continue to flow for SK, and they do still win the round in a relatively quick fashion.
Yeah, and we move on to a new one. Cirque's going to pick up that op instantly. Everybody else hasn't decided what they would like to buy, but it's almost certainly going to be M4s. SK, on the other hand, aren't upgrading anything. I think actually Cole just simply rebought a UMP, which is kind of surprising. I wonder what his plan is, considering he's got so much money left over. Unless he was Rain Man, he didn't do all that math. Taco setting up for the vent molly, I want to say. Cold actually going to push through to the box. Vent molly comes out. No one to bully.
It's making it noisy, too, to try and draw rotates, and it looks like it's working to a certain degree. Breeze is going to fall like the truck. Let's see, does he stop there? No, he's going to go all the way. So this works brilliantly.
It is crazy how, like, behind the fire.
So he hides in plain sight there, and it works out. Cirque also kills the first player. I think that was the bomb carrier. Yeah, it was. So now everybody should be rotating back in. Fugly, dirty as well. Peeks at just the right time to catch Taco off guard. He can't get that second kill so easily. Because him and Ange now are low, but Fugly, despite the low HP, moves in, and Fallen's missed shot, which has been uncharacteristic of him so far in this game. Fugly will be able to close out on him as a result of that. So NRG keep the game nice and tight, 9-10.
They pretty much had one threat at the site, and it was Fugly, and they couldn't kill him. So, you know, him getting 3 kills here after having 4 HP is really, really nice. The bomb coming out first was probably a bit of a misstep because their A main guys were not ready at all. So maybe the bomb should have straight up been A main, or the bomb and Squeaky should have come out delayed. But either way, they pulled the rotates like they wanted to. They just didn't. They let a kill go by that they didn't expect to at B. And that's an interesting way to hold mid main.
They even did a little bit of a boost up there to try to spam through. I think they were expecting NRG to get more aggressive this time, so just watching out for that now as they run down their timer a little bit here and still playing to their default. NRG, though, not really trying to experiment with too much at this point. They have a two-man setup in mid, one's boosted up in vents. And then besides that, just one inside of B, so nice even spread of CTs right now. Not trying to gamble towards either side. The molly timing on top of boost is actually perfect. So that was just when SK was trying to take control of it themselves. Now they re-smoke garage door and start shifting over there back towards A, as that kind of becomes the usual focal point when you don't see any additional movement or anything else like that. Especially considering that they do have that player pushed up in vents. So they would get early warning as to hits here. Phelps will make one kill happen. Goldzera gets a second, and Phelps through the white box actually takes down Cirque. Great trades from SK after starting that off a little bit down. They went from a 3v5 down to a 3v2, but Anj also hitting an op shot here. Brings another one of the members of SK down very, very low, but Anj has got to be careful being aggressive like this. They're still Squeaky to deal with. But walking right in, he's going to be able to find Phelps. That drops the bomb again. And with only 20 seconds remaining, they don't have a lot of time to recover. As I mentioned before, though, Anj still has to watch for Squeaky, as Daps is still nowhere near this site now. He's going to be pressured by it. A little bit chaotic here, as both Taco and Anj both get blinded. Anj has to check the other side, too. Taco wins the battle, but now they've only got 10 seconds left, and Daps just killed his teammate here. So Taco's going to roll out, looking for the quick kill, but Daps is not even close to this. He was hoping he'd peek truck, but he's just sitting at Z.
Yeah, as soon as he realized the bomb's back A main, Anj probably told him, just don't peek, it's too far away. And that was it. This is SK, though, completely dismantling NRG's mid, and we can see Cirque just trying to do what he could from the white box to make up for the fact that his teammates died and they couldn't. So overall, SK really imposing their will on NRG in that round after NRG decided to play 2 mid, 3 mid, 1 on flex, a couple of ops. None of it was enough, but it was a good play though. Really good play by Anj to push into A main. 2v3, had to do something to make up for the fact that they were down a man. And oh wow, what a kill from Taco.
Very rarely do you see that peek actually work out, but it does, especially against 2 players there. Basically 0 response from the CTs as well. Really knocking off a quarter of Taco's HP. They do throw the M4 back out into the open though, so it's not going to be as easy for SK to recover. They will have to commit out to the site before getting that opportunity. And now NRG, you kind of limber up on that B side a little bit more here, just splitting their players up 2-2. And this is a bit risky to do late in the round, simply because there could be A main pressure, but thankfully they have a smoke inside of it.
Ooh, he's getting knocked. Yep. That boy's getting
Fallen's going to walk right up into it there, find Fugly for free. So that completely counters up the stack. And what's even worse, Cirque misses this chance. It could have been a free kill. Molly's going to force him out. He can't defend it. SK just systematically clearing out A. And these last 2 on B probably aren't even going to attempt a retake now.
Yeah, they're just going to sit and hold their side. They know for sure, just based on how quickly those kills came out, that SK are going to be like running around looking for them. So, but they're moving at a snail's pace right now.
SK will get away with a lot on that round 2 as they are able to get these free guns. That's 3 M4s that they get for free. Fallen still has the op saved. And Phelps, obviously, if he can get one more player down here, that's another gun moving in. He does have a hand angle there. He tags him a little bit through the box, but at the moment, no actual connections. So, yeah, Daps will come in, saves the day at least. We're up on top here. Should stop anyone else from killing him. That was only the player with a pistol. Besides that, this entire setup that SK has right now is for free. Ooh, let's take a look at that. Oh, it just follows him. Oh, it hit the guy on the right. Wait a second.
Yeah. It's like this guy's too easy.
Yeah. So now we take a look here at NRG, see what kind of a buy they get together. It's not the greatest, and like we were mentioning before, like I was mentioning before, SK. Well, most of these guns that they now carry into this round are basically for free. Phelps is the one that had to fully rebuy his own gun, so SK actually getting a huge stack of cash off of winning that last round there in the fashion that they did. And now they're going to move in no fear anymore this time, quickly boosting players up on top while they're taking A control. Taco gets the first kill. Fugly will respawn, but he's now low HP. ANJ a little bit timid to peek out from Truck here. He doesn't want to lose that M4. He's got a teammate that can quickly pick it back up, but he gets nothing done on the peak, just gets his head digged off there. So he's going to be down at 17 HP. They'll molly it so that no one can immediately reapproach this pushing point. what's even worse is these players that are now going into mid, if they try to cross highway, well, they still have Cold Zero waiting for them too. So I think they know they've been outclassed again. They're going to fall back and save once more.
Go ahead and overrun the A site really easily, kind of similar to how NRG took their rounds. And I don't know if they knew that NRG were going to force up or just not have that much to work with. Oh yeah, they saved the guns from last round, but I don't know if they knew that they were going to buy behind the rest of it. I think what they saw was an opportunity to rush, because if they did buy up behind it, they weren't going to have a lot of nades. And if they didn't, well, it's just an eco round that you can sometimes take fast. So there's a couple of good excuses to try and do that. Pretty smart cerebral play from SK, as per usual. And they take a lead in this game, separating the score further. The recycled guns will almost certainly influence another buy, however, and I think that that is going to factor into what SK do. I'm kind of curious if they'd take another round quickly. Talk on the way out, just hits that last bullet headshot through the door.
So 12-10, we'll go into a pause here as NRG will take a tactical pause. Things are getting a little bit close to the edge of the cliff for them, so they do want to take a moment to recenter themselves and try and see if they can get a couple more rounds up on the board here, especially after that last round when they did force into it. Now leaves them in a very delicate economical situation as well.
So 12-10, NRG have to decide whether or not they're going to buy. They have close to 2K apiece, and they have 3 guns to work with. One of them is a UMP. It's not a great buy. SK are going to be really well equipped for them, but they think if they just buy a pistol or 2 behind this, how long will it take for them to get back to a round where everybody can afford to buy? And I think I'm kind of curious. Can we hit tab really quickly to see what round loss they're at? 2, so it'd be 3-round loss after this. Okay. Yeah, so they've decided to wait. They still got a pretty good chance to win. 2 M4s, lots of armor. They have a kit, a couple of nades. SK playing full-on anti-eco here.
And then meanwhile, NRG is going to go for this boost up again. Last time this got completely countered because they took free mid control. And
yeah, that's a get out of there.
Let's cancel that real quick.
Honestly, if I was Fugly, I would just start running, because like people in A main would just spray. Daps is really good to. I mean, you know, maybe he just fakes the boost. Honestly, it's a person that they're going to have clear it.
Gives them like a 2 seconds or so that that player's looking away on entry. So
yeah, and you can also abuse it.
But still, we wait as SK. We're showing no signs of an execute just yet. Only just now are they starting to flash things out towards the actual site there.
Everybody's cold seems to have gotten too much info at B. No one's peeked yet. It's cleared out about 50 angles. Hasn't seen a CT.
So they know that's open now. They're gonna walk right in.
Open for business.
And that might be. I don't know if NRG are even going to attempt to retake that.
I don't know. I think, honestly, they're just take these guns into the next round once again. Oh. Nice.
Wow, look at that.
Voila.
Cold Zera's going to move in. I thought for a moment we were going to have a round where no one died for a second there, but looks like I was wrong about that. That's the nice little run boost. Gets Cold Zera into heaven. And allows them to take down Breeze. I'm just only a player with a pistol, though, so it's not a huge loss. I think they're going to kind of throw away these pistol players, just hope they can get an exit kill or 2, and let the 3 guys with actual guns just sit back and save, essentially.
Cold poking around.
Taco has the potential to move in here, too, and try to drop some of these guns. And we can see Cirque. There's opportunity to peek back out. There's Taco on the peak. He goes down to Daps, though, but at this point, SK probably don't care too much about that loss. Yeah, 10K on Taco, so he's going to have no problem rebuying. And with those guns in hand, we can see NRG fully invest this time, although obviously they do still have to work with that 1-up on Fugly.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing they have, but at least here they have some kind of economy behind them too. So it is good that they recycle their guns, even if they planted on upgrading or, you know, buying in the next round, because they're just going to get reset if they end up losing here. Fur takes a little bit of bad damage as they bust out mid. Phelps gets way ahead of Cirque. Cirque had no idea that was about to happen and will continue to take this fight on low HP, knowing that he has very little to lose. Also makes room for his teammate to get up highway. So much information has been given up to SK, and NRG fully anticipating here pretty much just a B split. But keep an eye on the bomb to figure out what the intentions of SK actually are.
And as such, they leave an open A site Last round it was B, but now this time A, with the exception of the car spot, is going to be open for the taking. So Breeze has to call this out relatively quickly, otherwise they'll lose it and end up in the same situation as the last round.
See, that's some high-level play there, Taco and Fur working together. That highway control isn't known, you know, so they didn't see Fur get up there. So Taco throws that molly knowing that a player will cross out of it, and they won't cross to the right corner because that would leave him open to Taco.
Breeze and Phelps will trade blows here, so now these highway players are going to be able to push back up, but they do have to be slightly cautious of flashbang push. Once the smoke fades away, they'll go for it, and surprise, Cold Zero was hiding behind White Box, but not as successfully as one might have thought. Breeze will take him down, re-evens the fight back into a 3v3. SK also out of utility now, so they don't really have anything else to hold back these CTs on retake here, but this one smoke, that truck should delay things, and Phelps, winning behind the truck, could surprise a little bit here. Yeah, there's the flash. Breeze going to go into the smoke, but oh, he comes out on top. Now he's in the open, though, so he does have to be a little bit careful. He saw the player peeking at A main, so Fallen's going to get the better of him this time. Daps will trade on the Taco. Now Fallen looking to clutch what would be a 1v3 here if he can do it successfully. The jumping player, though, baits him into taking a shot, and as such, NJ will swing out to get the closing kill.
Yeah, it was quite close. NJ coming in, swooping in for the defuse, and Daps jumping out with his cape on. And SK lose the 1v2. It was a pretty good round to start it off. The Phelps busting out mid, getting highway control. Fur going to the top of highway unnoticed. Nobody at A to molly out. NRG stacked the wrong site, and still they come out with the W. That's the thinking emoji if I've ever seen one.
A lot of this match has been for that thinking emoji.
It's true.
If you really think about it. Let's see here, Fallen actually hitting that shot, I think.
Oh yeah, wow, he hit him like
I didn't.
1 HP.
It took me a moment to realize
guy.
it. And just barely escaping. It's a bit unlucky for Fallen, for being completely honest here, but Ange, I guess he'll take that. So now let's see, is SK just going to go for a quick execute on B this time? They still have players out at like Squeaky Hall and whatnot, so there is going to be some delay on this. However,
NRG appear to be obsessed with this boost, and with mid control, it's not that bad. It's quite useful actually, but you know, you never want to be up here if you think that they're going to clear it.
Right now they clear the other side there, since that's kind of that peculiar smoke. Circle will have his first chance here potentially too if they end up swinging out towards mid, but they might actually just completely avoid mid control this time and try to directly execute down onto the site. Let's go for the shock value play, see if that works. The flash though flies into the air. Ball looks for his opportunity at White Box. He'll miss it. Cirque, though, does end up getting hit pretty heavily. Down to about 50 HP. He'll fall away. And Rapid to B is they just assume it's going to come from there since Ange got hit earlier on that shot.
Same deal.
Yep. In comes the execute. Fugly. This time, I believe they did boost him up here without making any noise, so he should be unknown unless they just decide to check it. But hold on now, as for a second the bomb is going to back out. For now, just a back away from A main. Now they're going to move on to the site. They don't check him originally, but he does only get one kill. One and done after that. Breeze also going to be taken down by Taco on the entry, and now Cold goes into Z to knock out Cirque. Just Ange at 1 HP, and Daps left alive here. No hope of a retake. SK will retake back in their control, and with NRG just winning the last round, well, this is going to be a reset loss for them as well.
This is suddenly one of the first rounds where everything goes the way the team planned, and then the other team doesn't just win on a really good site hold. NRG stacked the wrong side once again. SK do a good job of clearing out middle, putting pressure on Cirque, doing good early damage at B to worry the B players, and then hit the site with a good split, and also have the awareness to clear boost. And even though Fur cleared Fork first, you know, turned around right away, got killed, and Fallen traded it. So now Ange is just trying to save on this gun. I don't know if he's been spotted or not. Taco's gonna be like right in his face. That would be funny. Oh, he's gonna go pick that op up, yeah. But SK Gaming up to 14 rounds. Tumultuous first half. Tactical pause, I would assume, being called by NRG. Have to figure out what they need to do differently. It's kind of a question mark for me as well. They have the opportunity or potential to do a more aggressive mid setup, and it seems like SK are going mid late, or well, sorry, they've done a good job mixing up whether or not they're going to go mid late, because sometimes they have just had like Phelps run out left side mid through a smoke and really neutralize Cirque, and that's been the big problem for them. I think if they can keep Cirque alive later into the round, or use him at quad in their ultra passive setup instead of having him play white box just waiting to fall off, then maybe in the 5v5 they have a better chance holding A.
We will find out here. Again, these pauses are relatively quick for the ESL Pro League, so we should be jumping back into it soon. NRG, though, with one of their last chances approaching, they do decide to force into this round. But as you can see, the force is going to have its sacrifices. Cirque will get the op, but there's 2 players on pistols, 1 player on an MP9, and most of the team doesn't have any utility at all. Just those CZ players, they're able to buy 2 smokes and a single HE grenade. So they're very much going to have to rely on their fragging capabilities alone in order to impact here. They'll focus their presence at mid once again with the MP9 playing close up to counter boost. And Cirque just kind of hanging back in white box in his usual position.
Yeah, this is where he's just been going, and it's been SK's prerogative to basically either avoid him or bully him in all the safest ways possible, making his position useless. So he's really got to get more creative with how he approaches the rounds, especially on an eco round like this. You should be open to taking more risks, especially if you're fending off match point and your team's investing a little bit of economy into it. But instead, he's doing what he's comfortable with. Wow, and that's terrifying, just to think that you can play like right side mid and someone's killing you from there. Geez, Cirque activates Ange, and Cold Zero takes him out. So that's a 1-for-1 trade in favor of SK Gaming. Now they know where Cirque is. He's gotten that kill from White Box that he's been searching for the last few rounds in a row. And now it's kind of just like out in no man's land as he decides what he wants to do.
Breeze also doesn't really have a whole lot of options here too, so I think Cirque
he gets shot on the side.
Let's see, they'll play together.
I think he's still exposed.
Oh. You not see that? Oh, now he's going to get overwhelmed too. Bird's going to take him down. They don't expect the second player to be in this position though, so that does catch them a little bit by surprise. Unfortunately, he's kind of up against the world here, so he will go down pretty quickly regardless for taking him out. Daps now looking at a clutch 1v3. And yeah, that's not going to last very long. SK take yet another round pickup here, and now they're up on map point, 15-11.
I think if Cirque's this young player, he's like very talented and is very comfortable being aggressive. He just needs a little bit more direction, maybe from like Daps to be like, okay, this is what you should try to do. Look, you're really good. You can get away with this, or go for this pick, or try to be in these 3 positions this round, or something like that. Then you know, that might help them a lot. He's not scared. He's really good, and we've seen him clutch first the best. So definitely would like to see him be a little bit more versatile. And maybe it's just not his favorite map, but.
And we'll catch one already here, and this is obviously not the most optimal buy for NRG going into what could be the final round, but it's the only buy they can afford here at this point, so they do have to work with it. 3 players now up for NRG as Taco gets a second kill, leaving just Fugly, Cirque, and Daps to play around with the world here. Flash will work its way back out. Yeah, Taco and Phil getting 2 more, and now it's just Fugly. 1v5 here. They're trying his best. Basically just hiding out, waiting for these guys to cross site with bomb. Maybe you can take him down when they take platform control. But ultimately, they will be going in to hunt him down, and now he's revealed his intentions out into the open, and he'll be pincered, and that'll close it out. Phelps gets the last kill, and SK Gaming will take control, ladies and gentlemen, taking this second map of the evening. And with that, we have another trade, 1-1 between these 2 teams, as NRG takes the first map back on Mirage, but obviously SK take this one.
Yeah, and just as everybody said, SK doing a lot better on the second map, and really making it difficult for NRG.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. We'll send it back over to the analyst desk one more time to close out.
And a map that seemingly could not go against Fallen. I mean, everything aligns for this guy, and it shows.
Yeah, it shows a lot, especially when you're down 5-0. And you're like, guys, what do I have to do?
Exactly.
Do I have to get 12 kills in 3 rounds? Do I have to do that?
Yeah, so they're down 5-0. They have all, like, NRG has all of the win conditions, right? You win T-Pistol, you win first gun round, you win the next anti-eco, and then Fallen gets 12 kills over the course of the next 3 rounds in emphatic fashion, you know, in his usual style, right? Really quick, lots of flick stuff. And it's not necessarily flashy without reason, right? He's taking these combat angles and just, you know, showing him that he's the superior op player in the server. Hitting a nice collat right there, obviously not planned, but you know, it's just something that happens when you're in the right place at the right time.
And I think what also helps that is that his positioning as the op, like he'll take his shot and move to a different spot right away, or then hit the other spot. Like he's always moving around. He's not a static op, or as you say, combat angles. He's jumping. Yeah. He's in the fray, and it's so good because the round where he got the ace that kind of sparked the team, he started off A main, took 1 shot. Okay, so it tells NRG, oh, Fallen peeked A main. He goes to forklift, takes a shot at Squeaky. Oh, Fallen's there. And so by the time that they or Team NRG is coming around and saying that he's probably Forklift Highway, he's already by quad box.
Yeah, he's ready for the next angle.
And it's just beautiful.
Well, we can load up round number 9 now, where I believe it was a methodical split here from NRG, but SK do grab the round overall.
Yeah, so NRG went for like a methodical B split, and this round, kind of what I'm trying to show is that NRG are becoming that mature team who can, you know, win in different styles, right? So what they do is they show themselves B early, and this is later on in the round, right? So they end up going back there. All right, let's take mid, late. Most CT teams won't play heavy mid or close mid late round. If they do, we'll flush them out with a flashbang, smoke off Z. And this is kind of like attacking the outside yard on train, right? If you're attacking from all angles, the CTs have less places to hide. And if your teammates know what angles they cannot be in, that means there's less, you know, possible spots that they could actively be in, right? Because that guy was highway, they know that CTs are not in certain spots, so it allows the guys coming out A main and Squeaky to choose and take more aggressive peeks at the right angles.
Well, definitely something to look at there from at least the SK side of things. We do know that NRG was able to string together a series of rounds in the first half, leaving it at 8-7, I believe. But ultimately, not quite, dare I say it, cultivating anything, you know, standing in the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go against SK's T side, you're going to need probably 10 rounds to feel somewhat comfortable at all, to be honest with you.
And it seems against SK, it's easy to start the momentum against them. Well, I say easy, but once they have it, it seems like it's almost impossible to get it back. It's like they run away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, running away with it, or trying to at least. We're going to take a look at round 13 as we backpedal just a little bit here, towards the end of the first half at least.
Okay, so this is a round where Fur pushes mid, right? So right there, he lines up 2 guys towards like the useless room, but NRG still ends up winning this round, right? So again, right here, I'm trying to, you know, tell a story of NRG being better team than most people think, right? So to win a 3v5 gun round against SK on Cash is something to note. And how do they do it? Breeze getting 2 sick headshots coming out of A main right there, and, you know, playing a post plant to a T, talking to each other. Breeze is like, all right, I got catwalk, nobody's parking lot. Daps peeks and kills the other guy who is toxic that Breeze jump spotted from Cat, and they're all talking to each other right there. You know, when you're in like a pug, which is a great environment to show how not to play, people on post plant, all right, they're going to be taking their peeks, you know, solo. They're not going to say, yo, I'm peeking right side forklift, I'm going to peek truck wall. Can you look at toxic from quad right when I do that? 3, 2, 1 go.
Just
right?
watch us at late night pugs on what not to do.
Come on, man. I thought you were going to... Come on, man.
But one thing to note about Team NRG is that that I really liked is their timing and spacing on getting kills. Like, they're always together. They're always, like, right behind each other, exchanging the kills right away.
Like me and you?
Yeah, like me and you.
Okay.
I'm always right behind you. Popping you in and out. And
the creepiest of places, too, like the break room, you know, this room. It's kind of weird.
We're kind of practicing out of game as well as in the game. You know, we got to do that.
Perfect practice makes perfect play.
Well,
I'm glad you said that. So
you don't just practice, you got to practice perfectly.
Someone gets it.
Let's go.
So good.
All right, sorry about that, Trace.
No, it's cool. It's completely fine. I just, yeah, you guys paint vivid pictures sometimes, and they just don't escape me. So we can skip forward now to round 21, where we see SK kind of go off some intel based in the round prior. It's sort of a SK Zerg out middle, if you will.
So one thing I loved about this, you know, the SK tackle shot, awesome. But the thing that's amazing is how fast you see on the mini map that SK takes middle. Now, the round beforehand, NRG stacked 3 people mid. So usually people don't stack 2 times in a row, especially if it was a successful hold or take. And so after Taco spots 2 people, killing 1, SK immediately rushes out middle over the boost or whatnot, and puts Fallen in this aggressive spot, which I don't think NRG expected an offer to be that fast, that quick in middle. And here's a Fallen taking care of, you know, just common angle, taking out Fugly. And a rule of thumb is you don't boost Shroud spot if you don't have control of middle. That's such a hard angle to do, because they can go catwalk, they can go toxic, whatever. And so it was just a nice reaction play. So we like to say hive mind over here, that SK knows what to do immediately if they see people on the other side of the map. Play the number game, and that's what they did.
And so going back to something that Launders has been saying all day today is that, yeah, we can make inferences into why teams might make decisions, but at the end of the day, we don't know why, right? So what we can see from there is we can kind of hope to say, yeah, he saw 2 people in main. they also know that NRG knows that they're on a bad buy, right? And when you're on a bad buy on T side, most teams will not play heavy mid, right? They're just like, all right, let's not give up the sites. There's no bomb site in mid. We don't need to be there, right? So those two things added together kind of make SK confident that they're not playing heavy mid. So they're like, oh, we got the killing main. Fur runs off and runs down the rail highway, right? He clears it for Fallen, and then Fallen takes his spot. Just beautiful CS.
Beautiful CS executed perfectly almost there by SK Gaming. And in case you missed all of that and all the action from tonight, head over to youtube.com/ESLCS where you can find this VOD and many, 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 many more to include.
You should make a vlog about it.
Make a vlog about the VODs. Yeah, I think that would also be appropriate for YouTube. Either way, let's take a look at today's matches, though, because this is the wrap-up here. We will be cutting it down here shortly, but not before we recap today. Now, what sticks out, guys?
I guess NRG. Well, actually, Rogue. Actually taking it to the limit to Cloud9. I know Rogue is towards the bottom, but you know, they had a roster mess up towards the beginning of the season, really put them far behind, so maybe Rogue's a little better than we think.
There's a chance, but again, only time will tell, right?
Only time will tell.
Taking a look at the NA standings, you're going to see some stocks drop and some stocks rise there as the addition of W's and L's are added to the board. But nonetheless, you're going to see Optic, SK, Liquid there in your top 3 slots, followed by Misfits, NRG, and Renegades. Now, NRG having split tonight could have been the only team to go 2-0 against SK, but I'm sure that they're okay with having taken just one map out of the 2.
Yeah, if I'm NRG's manager or anyone on that team, maybe Daps, you know, kind of guys looking at the high level, you know, how do we do tonight, not focusing on the grains of like each round, I'd be very happy with NRG's effort. I think in both maps they actually had it by a stranglehold, right, at some point, and SK in their fashion, you know, grind it back on cash. So.
Yeah. It's almost like the stars and planets align for those guys sometimes.
Well, they make it align. It's not just like out of chance, you know. They play beautiful CS. I'm going to say it again.
Well, their counterparts over in the European division could put up a good fight against them. Let's take a look at how those standings are breaking down across the pond right now. Fnatic, Astralis, North, NiP, FaZe, and LDLC currently sitting in your 6 spots there at the top, which if we were going to Odense today, that would be your 6 teams from Europe. But we're not. So, interestingly enough, let's talk a little bit about LDLC. That's not a name that I think we could have put up there.
Yeah, every time I look at their logo, I see Pac-Man first, and then I see the wolf. It's kind of like that duck rabbit, you know. Do you remember that like really old optical illusion? It looks like a duck, and then you look at it again, it looks like a rabbit. Obviously, that's not what we want to talk about when we look at the standings. What I was looking at mostly is, yes, LDLC is surprisingly in this, like, within the LAN finals kind of top 6, but also Mouse Sports being 3rd from the bottom, because I remember Mouse Sports just ran a train through the entire league last season, right? Like, they were so far ahead in the lead at the beginning of the season, right? And, oh, Rops.
And also G2. They're at like towards the bottom.
Who was that?
G2.
Yeah,
they're at the very bottom.
What's going on?
Why are they losing so much?
I don't know. You've got me thinking about cat dogs and which one you would think first, right? Is it the cat or is it the dog first? Which side is the front? I don't know.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? That like drawing of the rabbit, and then you kind of like refocus your eyes on different lines. You see that it's like also a duck.
Is it 3D?
No, and then there's Anyway, optical illusions.
Outstanding. Speaking of optical illusions, let's see if Optic's going to be playing tomorrow by looking at the matches that we'll be bringing to you. And lo and behold, what do you know? Liquid and Optic and SK Misfits before that over the mainstream. Then Complexity Immortals and Ghost Counter Logic Gaming on the secondary stream.
Now that's a pretty good set of matches we got there tomorrow. And SK Misfits, that should be a pretty good one. And I mean, I'm looking.
It's too bad for Misfits that they haven't played SK yet, right? Because they're kind of on that edge of being within the top 6. So well, now they have to play SK, and they could be pushed out of the top 6 in one fell swoop.
One fails edged out, you know.
Yeah, nobody wants to get edged out, but we're going to be edging on out of the door at this point because that does it for us today, and we'll be back here tomorrow at the ESL Pro League right here in the Intel Esports Arena. See you tomorrow.